Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Sky Factory 2.4. Still waiting for news about 2.5. Haven't heard any news about it. But anyways, Skadoodles, we have ourselves a little bit of work done in preparation for today. A little bit of a tech advancement that I think is going to pay off in huge dividends for what we are doing in the near future. So, first, whoa. Man, these trees are trying to kill me, man. Earlier today on stream, I was running by, and then one of these like tree stumps just straight up grew upon me, and that will suffocate you. That will actually try to kill you. And so I basically almost got taken out by a tree. I wasn't really in any real danger, but sort of spooky. But anyways, we're going to be aiming to get ourselves a little bit further along magical crops. I know we're getting a little bit out of order in terms of what the achievement book says, but we will take a gander at that real quick before we get too far along. But I wanted to show you guys a couple little quality of life improvements we have made around and about. Also, Daredevil the Matic, he has gotten himself, actually, to the status of a living legend. Or at least that's what the thing said. I don't really know what else to say about it besides that's what it said. Also, that was the improvement up here. We have now gained the ability to repair our rapier here. And I know a lot of people are recommending that, hey, you know, Choco, you're not really using the strongest weapon of all time and blah, blah, blah. Good God, could you be louder? I am aware that obviously we're not exactly using the top tier weaponry that everyone could possibly be rocking, but I think for right now where we're at is we're okay. We're okay without necessarily having like the sweetest, swaggiest stuff upon the world. We will get to that point, but it's just the point is not now. Let me go ahead. I guess we'll just throw these into there. Give me one uno momento as I get my life in order, which, let's be honest, chance of that happening. Just kidding. Also, thank you all so much for the support on the series here, and also checking out me on Twitch or on YouTube, or whatever the case may be. It is tremendous to have your guys' support, and I have been having a lot of fun. I actually was having lunch today, and I was talking with Broseph and talking about how I've been really, really just kind of, I'm really blessed and really lucky, and we admittedly, okay, this I gotta call you guys out on. You guys are strange. There's no other way for me to express that, really. But you guys are strange in the best possible way. Because you all, for some bizarre reason, have decided that I am just an incredibly, like, solid source of entertainment, I guess. And I don't know, it's really cool. It's really cool to know that I have people that have my back, and people that are also very much supportive of what I do and have fun with me. And I've gotten to know some great people, and I hope to meet even more of you guys. Hopefully, I'm actually really hoping that I can make my way out to one of the conventions and stuff, but it is going to be awesome. I have no doubt in my mind that I am going to meet many more of you as time goes on, and I am so excited to meet so many more of you because you all are cool. You all are some cool cats. Although, I think you are also the only people I've ever heard of that go, Choco, can we have longer episodes? And I'm just sitting there like, bruh. This was like a 2-hour episode, bruh. They're like, guys, please, I need to live. I cannot die here. Not yet, until I have revenge for my family. But, yeah, no, it's obviously really cool. I'm giving you guys a little bit of a hard time, but you guys are absolutely wonderful. Weird attracts weird? Yeah, it's true. I'm not gonna lie, I'm I am a strange one. I will not deny that. I know that it's true. Alright, now let me go ahead, throw in some of these saplings into here. Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Let's just cap that out. Let's also put these into there, because we are going to eventually make some more punji sticks, which I'm going to leave in there. You can see I did a little bit more work with redstone essence and earth essence. Not really earth essence being important, but I did a little bit of work. That's the main thing. Excuse me, as I burp a Reno. I'm also going to store away this carrot. And then I'm going to start storing these bad boys away here. Because I do need that space. Alright, Enderman head, which is a different Enderman head than the other head. And I think it's because of beheading. I think beheading gives you a different one. And also we got a little more customers here now. Let's go ahead and put them out of their misery. A spider head, really? I am unsure if I've ever had a spider head. That might be a first. Ooh, we got loot bag. I thought I had no loot bags. Apparently I was wrong. Alright, cobblestone can take a hike, and of course I'm very smart, and I did not remember that if I throw it out, it is of course going to go straight back. Let me go take this cobblestone and lop it onto there, and then let's go ahead and not ever right-click with a rapier out, ever. If you guys ever see me do that on stream, just immediately just be like, Choco, get that out of your hands, because that is a surefire way for me to die. And die in the dumbest possible way ever. So, yeah, please do call me out on that, because I will not remember. It will not occur to me that that's a very stupid idea until it happens. And then I die, and then we all become salty. So, hopefully we can avoid that for as long as conceivably possible. Let me go ahead, throw these into here. We've only gotten a handful more of loot bags. I haven't really been farming them, admittedly, so I'm not expecting to find very many, but we are not exactly swimming in loot bags anymore. Something to bear in mind. I'm going to leave this dirt in here. The glass bottles we are, of course, good with. Now, glass bottles also are going to do a little bit more than brewing for us. We can change them into air essence if we like. I don't particularly see a dire need for me to do that right now, but it's something as a kind of a heads up that we can do that. That is something that we can absolutely add into the coffers. Now, we have like 3 different Enderman heads. We have head crumbs, we have Ender IO, then we have iguana tinker tweaks. We're getting all kinds of stuff. Alright, let me go ahead, grab all the music discs, and I guess we're going to have to start, like, sacrificing some of these bad boys to the spirits of music, or whatever the case may be. Let me go ahead, run over to the edge. Can I craft anything out of you? Is there anything you guys can do for me besides be music discs? Nope. Alright, well, that's a shame. Okie dokie, let me go ahead, store all these music discs. Them sweet, sweet jams. Alright, back, whoop. Alright, back up we go. And then let me just go ahead and poke this guy in the face. And then we have ourselves just a handful more discs. But as you can see here, we are absolutely swimming in stuff. I am really in need. I actually mean this. We really need to organize our inventory. I think what we might actually end up doing is I might purposely go out of my way to grind loot bags for a while until we find the engineering press. I think it's becoming that bad, where I need to think about getting ourselves ready to go for ME. It's getting to that point where there's just so much stuff. And honestly speaking, we're not too terribly far away from ME, I would say. I could be just horribly misjudging it, which would not be at all a long stretch of the imagination. But I think we're relatively close to ME. Maybe I shouldn't say that we're close to ME, but I think we are it's possible. It is now a possibility. It is not an impossibility. And that difference is, of course, going to be huge for us, because if we can, of course, pull that off, then we'll be in much better shape. I am not really sure. Whoa! Afro Gaming for the win. Thank you very much for the subscription. Much cheers. Much wow. Such win. Now, let me see here. Alright, whatever. I guess you're just going to get sucked up. But I have been meaning to show you guys just how much of a thing of work that this is to just get all of our stuff together in one place. It is crazy how much stuff we've gotten. We've also gotten a lot of stuff for witchery, which I'm going to be the first to say we have not done our due diligence on witchery in any mod pack that has had it. And by that I mean the one mod pack that I think had it, but still. We are very badly needing. Ooh, I think we can melt this down into actual gold, can we not? I think we can, which is going to be something that we will, of course, be needing. Fancy leather boots. And then let's get these potions here. And then we'll just take, I guess we'll just take these, whatever. Gosh darn you. Gosh darn it. Okay, let me see here. Let's go ahead and take these things of equipment, because we're not going to use those, obviously. Take these bows and let's start slapping them together until they make a full bow. Smackaroo, and then one more for the road, and then, wow, didn't even get fixed. Cry every time. Alright, so good stuff. Get ourselves a little bit more of this experience that's been lurking over there. Flop on down, and then we can go ahead and deposit the rest of our mob lootations into here and see what we get. I think we're actually chock full of everything else. So I do not need sticks. I do not need, is there anything we can do with arrows? I can make needle gun ammo, interesting. An ender arrow, which is not really my thing. Projectile protection. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm good. Because I mean, we can obviously make these. I just don't see the point. And then we have a ludicrous amount of rotten flesh. Zombie pearl. The heck is a zombie? Ugh. Just ugh. That's kind of gross. All right, well, mob default dimlet controls what type of mobs can spawn in addition to normal mob spawning. With this default dimlet, you will just get the default mob spawning. Oh, that's really cool. I don't know if I've ever heard block of flesh. Ugh. What in the world would you want a block of flesh for? Make dirt? Oh, really? You can use this to make dirt. Wow, I did not know that. A wormy apple. Graveyard soil. Cooked pork chop with a question mark. Okay, that's kind of sketchy. A mob target list. Interesting. Okay. I guess we'll hold on to the rotten flesh. I'm not entirely sure what in the world we'll use it for, but apparently there's stuff that needs it. I ain't gonna question it. I just follow orders. I'm like a soldier guy. I'm just kind of like, I'll just take my orders and march with them. I don't need to know what I'm doing it for. All right, let me see here. We have some redstone dust. Yep, there you are. And then we also have these bad boys. So anyways, let's get back on task. Magical crops. We have ourselves this nice little expanded plot. We have ourselves a Crucio Hoe. I did upgrade that as well. And we also have some nature's crops, which I'm sure some of you are questioning. Oh, and our little, used to have a little baby horsey, and now it has grown into a full-blown horsey. Also, Parkour Pig kind of killed itself at some point. I don't know when that happened or how it happened, but Parkour Pig was no more. I'm assuming the horses just kind of pushed him off. They just got sick and tired of it. So, anywho, Skadoodles, let me go ahead and let me start this whole nonsense here. So, first order of business. We are going to make ourselves a strong infusion stone. So we're going to take our regular infusion stone. We're going to also take ourselves, I think, is it redstone essence? Yep. And then we're going to make ourselves a strong one. So let me go ahead and do just that. Now that we have a strong one, we can actually just now poke into the iron tier, which of course will be pretty huge. We also, because we have the ability to get a lot more Minicio essence a lot more rapidly, and then once we upgrade our hoe again, we'll get even more per crop yield. It's going to be important that we can get these crops really just, firing all cylinders ready to go. So in order to make that happen, we talked about the lilypad of fertility, and I think we have all the stuff that we need. I'm not 100% sure about that, so don't quote me on it just yet. But I think we have everything we need. Oh, and in preparation, let me go up and show you guys what I am talking about here. So, one of the things that we need is we needed floral fertilizer, which is made out of dandelions as well as poppies, not roses, because roses aren't rose bushes, and that's very different. But if you are... What am I doing? Okay. When the Choco Brain just full-on stops. All right, so we had to make floral essence, and that is composed of bone meal as well as, I think, two dyes, actually. The red dyes and the yellow dyes, I believe it was. And then we also are going to need the other kind of fertilizer. So here, I'll just show you guys. Floral fertilizer. You make it from the rose reds and the dandelion yellows, even though this comes from poppies. So that's the way I made the floral fertilizer. And then from this, we also are going to be able to be needing lily pads, obviously, which is what the nature's essence is for. And then magical fertilizer. And this crap is expensive. Let me say that one more time to be absolutely crystal clear. This stuff is so god-awfully expensive. You need a diamond for each of the fertilizers. So you need to do this 4 times. It's ridiculous how expensive this is. But we're going to do it anyways because we're absolute savages. So, boom, 4 fertilizer. Ugh. It's rough, man. Rough times. All right, we're also going to put these nature's essences together and make ourselves 8 lily pads. Now, with all this beautiful stuff, we can make 1 lily pad of fertility. Now, to the untrained eye, you may think to yourself, my God, this is not worth it. But something amazing happens whenever you put this bad boy down. You may notice that things seem to be kind of sparkling a wee bit more than usual here. And you notice that this guy's giving off some kind of little aura of I'm getting drunk, which it sort of is. Now, these guys do stack in effect, but what we should be seeing, hopefully, although admittedly I don't think I've seen a single one pop since, so maybe I just had to grind like 8 billion more. But we are going to need to put a whole bunch of these down, and these things will grow quickly. They will grow much faster than per normal. And so we are going to want to get a lot of these guys going, which means that I no longer have to sit here with my watering can going, oh, let's water the crops. Although admittedly, if I do that, I'll probably go even faster. But yeah, the idea here is that these guys, once they're going, I'm going to be able to more or less keep this pretty stress-free. And that should be really, really good. I know the first thing that everyone's going to say, why don't you just put water here? Why don't you just put the water here and get the lily pads so they hit both sides pretty often? These guys can reach 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So whenever we get through with this, I'm going to put 8 of them just down this side, 8 of them down this side. So any given one will be hit by at least 2. Also, kind of as like a side note here, we're going to probably move these crops over into this area right over here, but I'm holding off on that for now because I don't necessarily need these crops to be growing super quick. I need these crops to be just killing it. So that is kind of the game plan there. So we will also get this all started and rocking and rolling. But of course, these things are mad expensive. I can't just be making these willy-nilly every so often. But I figured we would put that down and keep that kind of going in the background of us doing our episodes. So overall, I think that we're actually in pretty good battle shape. I'm going to run in here, quickly grab all the stuff, ransack all their things. Come here, give me your stuff. Yeah, that's right. Give it to me. Did you escape as well? How are you escaping? My gosh, they just have no regard for their own safety, like none whatsoever. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and go into our newly made chest, which has all of our like flowers and stuff. You would be surprised. It's not exactly the easiest thing to specifically get red stuff and yellow stuff. And there you go. You have one of these growing. I think we actually grew like a couple of them. So lily pad already going off, boys. So pretty hype out of Skype. Now, next thing on the docket, since I think we're going to have enough time for it, at least I hope we have enough time for it because I'm going to try to do it anyways. We're going to do a little bit of work towards getting ourselves some Tinker's Construct running. And I know that it has been something of a process, but we'll get there. You believe you me, we will get there. So in order to make this happen, we're going to need to make some clay. In order to make clay, we're going to go ahead and have to use a barrel, which I don't think this actually shows. So I need to actually take you all out. And then we're going to need to pound this into the ground and make ourselves a little bit of these seared bricks. Now, actually, let me go back in here and grab some of that dirt. And then we're just going to go ahead and make ourselves some good old grout, which I believe we can just, well, I believe it shouldn't be too terribly bad to do. Shouldn't be too terribly bad. All right, let me see here. Let's put these in. Now, of course, we are going to run into one issue. We are going to run into the issue of it's going to cost a lot by way of dirt and whatever else and blah, blah, blah. I don't think it's going to turn into that big of a problem, to be completely honest. I think it'll be relatively straightforward and easy going, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But let me go ahead and actually, wait, what am I talking about? Hello? Brain? Wait, hold on. I might have just confused myself. Give me a moment. Choco.exe is broken. Oh, wait, no, we don't need that, do we? I don't even think we need... Yeah, no, hold on. I'm getting confused. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you think I know how to play this game? Absolutely not. I've only played it forever. But yeah, we need to worry about cobblestone and actually smashing that down and then making that into dust. That's what I need to do. I am very backwards in the way I'm currently using my brain. So let me go ahead and make a whole bunch of this nonsense. And then we're just going to run this back one more time or so. And then we're going to get ourselves a nice little handful of gravel. And then from the gravel, we're going to turn this into dust. And then we're going to have to mix that with water, I believe. And that's going to get us what we need, I hope. If not, then I have no idea what I'm thinking of. Because I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going for. But I'm not 100% sure. Which is probably not the most encouraging thing that you guys have heard all day. So let me see here. Now, yeah, that's right. I'm the kind of guy that crouches. That's right. I get scared. I ain't ashamed. I ain't ashamed of that at all. You know how scary that is? If you're going to drop down, lose your soul. It's going to be bad, man. It's going to be real bad. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, head up the crafting bench over here. And let's go ahead and break down this wood. make myself some sticks, and then we're going to make myself a couple of hammers. Hammer time, and then hammer time again. All right, very good. And then bang, gravel galore, and then one more time, bang, bang, bang. All right, and then sorry, I got a little bit concerned that I was about to hit the whatchamacallit, the cobblestone generator, and that would have made me very, very sad. Actually, I guess we wouldn't lose very much. We wouldn't in truth lose all that much of stuff, but it still would have been a pain in the butt. So I'm glad we did not do such things. All right, so boom, boom, boom. There we go. Looking pretty good. And then with this gravel, I'm going to go ahead and break these down. Okay, now I need to no, gosh. Parkour and me are not meant to be. All right. And then we're just going to go ahead. It was at this point that Choco realized he fudged up. Yeah, Choco fudged up bad. All right, so let me eat these baked apples. Why do I do this to myself? All right, and then we're just going to jump down. I guess we're just going to do that a couple times over, because I just realized I did not build this towards the water, so I have no place to safely land. I never claimed to be smart, all right? I never claimed that. You guys made assumptions about me not being dumb. That was a mistake on your guys' part, not me. No, sir, that's not my fault. I've always been this way. All right, so boom, boom, boom. Up we go, up we go. And there we are. Nice and easy does it. And then flop on over here. And then we just have to take a hammer to it and start swinging like a madman. All right, and then swing, bada, bada, bada. And there we go. There we have some sand. Then we have to do that again, I believe, and then we have to change these into dust. So let me go ahead, just do that. So let's make a little 4 ring here. And then, can I just jump onto here? Oh, I can. Very nice. All right. Bang. Whoops. Bang, bang. Bang, 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 bang. All right. And then, now we have to make sure that we use a full hammer for this, because if we use a full hammer, it's going to make our lives a wee bit easier. Because these things will just break, remember? These things will break upon hitting the ground. So we just have to make sure that we do this in a semi-intelligent way. All right, let's go ahead and merge these 2 hammers, and then let's go back down. All righty, and then stand over here, just be safe. Okay, and there we go, dust. Now with dust, we just have to mix this with water, and I believe that we're in all good shape. So let me go ahead and get this thing of dirt out here. Go ahead and make that into a full-blown one. And then get ourselves a clay bucket. I am actually a little bit concerned because I don't know where the other clay buckets have gone, but that's okay. I mean, it's not the world's biggest problem if we end up not knowing where all of our clay buckets are. All right, so I believe I just do this several times over, and we'll get some clay, if I'm not mistaken. So let me go ahead and do that. We'll just mix these hammers together, get ourselves a somewhat decent HP hammer. And then, yeah, boom, clay. All right, very, very nice. So we have ourselves some clay. And we're just going to do this several times over. We don't need to do quite this much. We just need to make sure that we have enough for a floor of 4x4, which is going to be 16. So I just need to make sure that we have that. And I think we have to just take... Actually, can you... Yeah, so we need grout. Oh, wait, we don't even need... Okay, never mind. I don't know what I'm on about. All right, since we need to use grout, right? And then grout can turn to seared bricks. Ooh, that's going to actually be quite pricey. Let's see. We made 5. That's going to make... Well, each thing of grout is going to end up being... It's 1-to-1, right? Wow, that's wicked expensive. That's crazy expensive. Holy cow. All right, so... Let me think here. Because each of these... Okay, so into grout. From grout, we go into seared bricks. And then for seared bricks, we're going to need 8 of the... Oh, wow, that's going to be mad expensive. I didn't realize how expensive that was going to be. We're also going to need some smeltery drains on the sides there. And then we're also going to need casting basins and tables. Oh, God, we need a whole bunch of this crap. We are probably going to use glass as opposed to using the actual seared bricks, because seared bricks are a wee bit pricey. But, yeah, okay. That is a bit of a problem. I mean, it's not a problem, it's just kind of inconvenient. Alright, So each of these makes 4. Alright, so let's start off with the floor first. We're going to just start off with the floor for today, and then we'll probably finish this up another day, because this is going to be a rather large endeavor. Because the plan is to make one that has a 6x6. Oh, fudge. Alright, 6x6 blueprint. So that is the game plan. Whether or not that game plan actually goes well is a completely different issue, but hopefully it goes well. I'm hoping. I am hoping for the best of the best. So let me go ahead. I guess there's not really a reason for me to do that. Just might as well do it this way. Just use the ones that are right here. And then just do these. Alright, so let me see. We have 17 clay. Each of these creates 8. 8 times 17 is 136. And then... That can't be right. Is that right? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, 136. So we'll have 136 things of bricks. And then 136 divided by 4 is going to be 34, I think. So that's more than enough. So that should be enough clay. All right, so now we need to get ourselves enough sand, and we have to get ourselves enough gravel, which is just going to be involving getting rid of course, some things of cobble, and then going from there. Now, I think they're, what, equal parts, if I'm not mistaken, they're equal part gravel, equal parts sand. Yeah, 4 to 4. So I think we'll be in pretty good shape here. Let me go over here and grab me some more cobble, some more of that fine cobble goodness. And then we're going to go ahead and start putting this together. Now, we are also going to need a platform for these bad boys, so I suppose we should make an accommodation for that sooner rather than later. I think we're going to build it off behind our little sky tower here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and hopefully not fall to my death. Try as hard as I can not to plummet to oblivion. Alright, so let's just make this little platform here. We do want to make this out of cobble, because I'm prone to making boo-boos, and I don't want my entire base to go up in flames because I made a boo-boo. So let me just do that. We're going to leave that 3 gap here, I think, for now. I'm just going to expand this walkway a bit. Make it a little bit safe. Well, I'll expand it one more. I completely expect. We still haven't made like a really dumb thing where we just like walk off the edge like herp derp stop thinking. So I'm actually kind of impressed by that, which is, I know, small achievements, but still, for me it's an achievement nonetheless. Let me go ahead, grab these bad boys. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to actually make the Tinker's Construct. I'm going to make 2 smelteries at one point, and that will be kind of the general game plan for how this is all going to start shaping up. So let me see here. We're currently, this part is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So this is just the bare minimum that we would need, but we're going to, of course, expand this out. I'd say we're going to give it, let's give it 4 more in every direction, and that way it has plenty of space to roam. Not that they would roam, but you get the idea. You get it. You understand what I'm getting at, right? Right? Like, get it? Right? Hopefully. All right, so boom, boom, boom. Expand all this stuff out, and then there we go. We have the beginnings of a platform for our smeltery. We are going to need a smeltery controller. I'm going to use seared glass again for the like walls, quote unquote, which is going to store the lava, which heats up the smeltery itself. We're also going to be needing ourselves some of those faucets. We're going to need some of those drains or whatever they're called. And then we're also going to need to get ourselves, I don't know why I ran this way. We're also going to need to get ourselves some of that good old-fashioned casting bin things. I forgot what they're called. Casting. What are they called? I think they're actually called casting bins. But yeah, we're gonna need some of those. We're gonna need some. I don't know if you guys caught what I just was about to do. We're not. I don't. I'm a genius. I wasn't about to do anything stupid. What are you talking about? I'm gonna go this way now. All right. So boom, 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 boom. All right. Beautiful. I guess we'll just even out this path right here. Ain't no harm in that. All right. And then let's go ahead, fill these bad boys in. Awesome. Alrighty. Now, for the actual casting bins and stuff like that, they do flow downward, right? So I want to raise the platform of that up, but whenever you put the floor in, that's going to make a little bit more sense. So I'm not going to put in lighting just yet. Actually, that's a downright awful lie. I'm going to absolutely light that up because I do value my life. The second the words came out of my mouth, I was like, you sure about that, Choco? You really sure about that? I feel like you could benefit from some lighting. I feel like that wouldn't be the worst decision you've ever made. All right, so let's go ahead and put some lighting in there. This dadgum compass continues to haunt me. Fudge you. All right. Sorry. That was... Just feel very strongly about them ever since the Fire Nation attacked. Let me go ahead and not build cobble stair things up there. Yeah, we'll just put these down. Alright, let me break these leaves out, because these leaves are very much in the way of progress right here. But yeah, Matic is a living legend now. Or Daredevil. Daredevil has been killing it, boys. Let's go ahead, boom, 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 break some trees down. Let's just leave this a barren wasteland for the time being. Alright. Let's go and attempt to do this now. We're going to go ahead, throw down all the cobble, and then we're just going to hammer them into oblivion. And we'll just go with what we have for now, because I think, if my estimation is correct, this should actually yield us just about all the things for the floor, and probably a little bit over. I'm guessing that we're going to go a little bit over. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that is the way it's going to play out. And of course, if that is the way that plays out, then great, because then we don't have to worry too much about doing too much extra for all this, which would be lovely. And also, the reason why we decided to actually finally do smeltery is because I want that autosave. I want it so badly. I want to get that pretty bad. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I suddenly became like bent on doing this all of a sudden, because I know that people have been asking for me to do this, but I've just been pulling my butt across the floor like a dog has poop on its butt, just because I just didn't really want to do it. But now I feel very compelled to do it, because I realize that I can get myself some of that swag on deck Invar if I just mix it in the smeltery. So that is the hope, and that is the dream. So let me see here. Let's put this down. Alright, break that. And then that should be enough to get us started, I'd say. All right, so let me take our clay here and then make us some grouts. There's 40 grout as is. And then let's pop this into Le Farnace, which of course is absolutely just overrun. Grout. All right, so sorry friends, but you have been replaced. And I am going to need to organize my inventory in some way, shape, or form, because it is an absolute god-awful mess. But whatever. I guess we'll just have to deal with it for now, because I clearly don't have the room. I'll throw you in here. All right, so there we go. Seared bricks are rocking and a-rolling. And then we're going to need these, of course, to make the floor, which I think the seared bricks... Yeah, we're going to need 4 per, so I think it's going to give us, what, 10? So we're going to need a little bit more than that. Let me go ahead and actually, yeah, we'll cut this evenly. Evenly isn't exactly what we would want, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. All right, so let me put these down. Boom, 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 boom. And then let's put these down here as well. Smash it, and then get some sand. Now, we are going to need to make another hammer. But overall, I'd say we're actually doing a really good job on Sky Factory. I mean, granted, I'm not just trying to, like, absolutely blaze through this in one day. But I think even so, we're going at a pretty nice and decently fast pace. I think we're actually doing quite well for ourselves. All right, boom. some stickies, and then with the stickies we shall make some smackies, and then smackies. I'm not sure what I hope to accomplish there. I'm going to be completely honest. I am not entirely sure what the goal was. But whatever the goal was, it was destined to end poorly. Alright, boom, boom. There's another hammer. And then hammer time. And then throw those on the ground. And then we are going to give ourselves some more of this sand. Beautiful. And then we're going to make ourselves some more grout. So grout, 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 grout. Grout, grout. Grout? Nope. Nope. And nope. Grout. There you are. I was wondering, what the fudge? I have gravel. I have... Wait, what? Did I make... Oh, no. Wait, hold on. Did I? No. I'm confused. I confused myself. Wait, I thought if we... Gravel turns to sand, does it? Yeah, it does. What the heck is going on? Is it because it wasn't in my main inventory? Maybe that's what was happening. That's probably... That actually is probably exactly what happened. Alright, let me... Nope, 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 nope. Okay, there we go. Aha! There we go. Man, I just panicked a whole bunch. I was like, oh, no, I fudged up. But we're okay. We did okay. We are alright. Let me see here. I guess we'll check. I don't know. Sorry, charcoal. And then we'll throw that over here. Pick... Nope, I want the charcoal, not you. Alright, and then we'll pick that up. I'm going to leave some charcoal in... Actually, we should probably take this charcoal and we should probably put in the Sterling generator, which is sitting over there. It's not really doing anything, but at the same time, might as well feed it, right? It's like a cute little pet. Our cute, adorable little Sterling generator. You're the cutest. Alright, let me go ahead, head backwards. Go back and get all stuff done. Now, we are going to... Oh, fudge sakes. How do I always have such terrible inventory management? It's just... This is the one thing I don't understand how I manage to do to myself every time, too. It's my inventory just goes to absolute just crap. There's no other way to put it. Like, I don't honestly understand how I make it get this bad every single time. And I am going to call you all because you are being beyond obnoxious. Look at how many creepers are in there. Absurd amount. Oh, trays. I get lifesteal and more bling for your thing. When the game is trying to make more jokes, please. Alright. And then some good old smacks into there. Go ahead, switch out, get trays back into there. And honestly speaking, trays has been doing pretty well for us, I'd say. Trace has been... Oh, you've been shooting your friends. You had a traitor in your midst, and you guys probably didn't even know. Alright, and then Trace is now broken, but we can repair him. Very, very cool. Has lifesteal now, which is pretty hype out of Skype. I feel like Trace is going to start shining whenever we fight bosses and stuff. When we start fighting things that we need to actually, like, go to proper war with, I feel like Trace will be a lot more useful. Right now, it does kind of feel like, what's the point? But I think we are going to hit a point where it's going to just be like absolutely lit. Alright, let me grab these lootations. I think, yep, that's all the loot bags, so I'm pretty content with that. Jump on down. We're not going to worry about doing loot bags every time. We'll do loot episodes every now and again, just because I don't want to like have it consume too much time every single time we do an episode. Alright, 19 dirt. Alright, let me see what's going on here. Now, we have ourselves some ground... Oh. Good job, Choco. Remember how you were talking about your inventory was looking crap? Well, good thing you didn't remember any of that, because you just completely ignored it. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Make ourselves a new chest. And then, I guess you're just going to be designated as the keep everything chest, because I CBA to worry about this on a regular basis. Okay, and then we're just going to move these up. The one thing I'm going to say about the inventory thing that I don't like, the extra inventory space, is that they don't know how to interact with everything else. That's the one thing I wish they knew how to do. Alright, let's get this stuff out of here. Clay, gravel, yes, yes, yes. And everything else I think can stay in there. I don't think we need anything right this moment. And then we will put the... Well, actually, I guess we'll just fill this up. We'll get some more clay going here. Might as well, I suppose, right? So let me go ahead, fill these up with water. And then We're going to put some dust. I'm not going to worry about the hoe at the moment. And then some more clay. Alright, cool. So we have that, of course, flowing now. We need more than this. We are going to need a bit more. Let me take some of this grout out here, and let's get it cooking over there. We're going to need to mix it up a wee bit, because this is going to take forever otherwise. Alright, so there we go. Now we got that rocking. We got this rolling as well. Let's go take a look at our lily pad of fertility stuff. We still have a little bit more to go. That's okay though. I will, however, take these bad boys out. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and take these seeds and of course replace them because the seeds are hype out of Skype. I'm going to move them a wee bit closer. Alright, the redstone and all that stuff can stay there, and then the nature's ones can stay right there. Alright, cool. So we're just going to reshuffle and reorganize that, and then of course whenever these are all full grown, then I'm going to get that hoed down and all sorted out. These two, I guess we should breed the moo-moos. We should probably breed the moo-moos. I feel like moo-moos are pretty important, so yeah, we'll go breed the moo-moos. Alright, let me just right click on these bad boys. Very nice. Very nicely done indeed. And then we shall breed some moo-moos with them. Hey there! Hi there. You want to introduce yourself? Okay, hello. And then baby cow. Jump, jump, jump. I mean, not chomp, chomp. I mean, hi, welcome to the world. I'm not suspicious. Alright, and then hopefully we have it's almost done. Hopefully. Oh, I didn't keep any food. Why did I do that? I need food. Goodness sake. I'm not... Oh, we ran out of baked apples. Really? Wow, that's something I thought would never happen, to be completely honest. Holy cow. Alright. Wait for that to go. Let's bake some apples here. We got some extra baked apples in here as well. Very good. And we'll leave the charcoal in here. We already have some in there anyways. Alright, so that is all in good standing order. Let's take the 52 out of here. And then there we go. That's going to be an even 64. And then with these, we can make our 16 seared bricks that we're going to need to line the bottom with. Now, blurb, let me make sure that we do this right. So, we gave it a wee bit more room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What did I do? Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm doing the outline of the full thing, not the floor. All right. I promise, guys. I know what I'm doing. We can totally do this and be great. You can trust me to get you guys where you need to be. Trust me. Trust me. All right, and then goodness sake, please don't fire me, guys. All right, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so something like that. Alright, and then it should be like that. Beautiful. And then let's get a torch going here. Let's also see what's spookified. Unspookify it. Beautiful. Alright, and then we just have to get ourselves our sear glass to just line the entirety of this outside. So we're going to need a lot more sand. And then we're going to have to make the actual boundaries for it and all that good stuff. So we are, I think, for more or less done with this episode. We're of course going to keep on going on stream, and we're going to finish off the odds and ends here, but that's going to be a lot of grinding, and I figure we'll come back with the next episode after we get kind of all the elements together. I won't put them down, but I'm going to at least get all the sand and elements together, maybe even make the seared glass, because you guys already saw what the recipe is for that, which is just a matter of getting... I don't have the seared bricks on me, so I can't even really... Hold on. All right. So seared glass is just this. We're going to do this one. The one that requires more glass and requires seared brick, because that takes out a step in the entire process, which is nice, which is, of course, what we want. But we're going to be needing a fair bit of this, so I am going to be back after I do that on the next episode. So if you guys have enjoyed this, if you're enjoying this whole series, please do think about leaving a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and you're looking forward to seeing the new episodes of Sky Factory, of course, on the channel. And I will see you guys another time. So take care, everybody, and I have a walrus hat. Aren't I adorable? All right, but anyways, take care, and ciao for now.